USA sind das Land der unbegrenzten Möglichkeiten. Es heißt, wenn man nur hart genug arbeitet, kann man alles erreichen. Nirgends ist der amerikanische Traum heute noch so lebendig wie an der Grenze zu Mexiko. Vor 30 Jahren tauschte der Unternehmensberater Jim Chilton seinen Anzug gegen Cowboystiefel. Seitdem züchtet er Vieh in der Wüste Arizonas. Seine Weiden haben die doppelte Fläche von Paris.
Hi guys.
And I think the fence is down, I don't know, somewhere in between Fraguira and Arivaca-Pasto.
Okay. Well, have a good day. We'll see you now.
All right. Bye-bye.
Being a rancher is in my blood. My ancestors drove cattle from Texas to Arizona in 1885. Our ranch here is south of Tucson, and my south end of the ranch is the international boundary. I estimate 30 or 40,000 people a year walk through my ranch. 2,832 people have died crossing in our deserts. If the government secured the border, people wouldn't be dying on our ranch and on the other ranches along the Arizona boundary.
Jim Chilton setzt auf Donald Trump und eine strikte Einwanderungspolitik. Schon während des Wahlkampfs machte der US-Präsident gegen Migranten Stimmung. Er heizte das politische Klima des Landes so sehr auf, dass sich manche Amerikaner dort heute diskriminiert fühlen. Einer von ihnen ist der Moslem Suleiman Massoud. Der Ingenieur aus Palästina kam vor mehr als 3 Jahrzehnten in die Vereinigten Staaten.
When I was just barely 18, I finished high school and I decided to, go for education in the United States because I had one uncle that lived in the Dallas area. So that's why I ended up in Texas. And I stayed and eventually ended up in El Paso, Texas, and raised 6 children. And that's where I am now.
I used to chop that cotton, sometimes leaning on my hoe. We all know a hoe ain't just a hoe anymore.
I've learned to like country music living here in the U.S. and I listen to it quite a bit, especially on a road trip. When I first came to the States, I only had an AM radio in my car, or actually it was my uncle's car I used to borrow. And so the only thing I could get is country music. And I could understand it because they speak slow and very few words.
Since Trump has become president, with all the negative things that have been said about Muslims and immigrants in general, even though I've been here living in the States for over 36 years, and I've done, very well, and I've met fantastic people, but you cannot help but feel a little bit insecure sometimes when you hear these things on TV being repeated and about the religion Islam being a bad religion, and without distinguishing between extremists and just normal Muslims, normal citizens that just want to strive.
Jim Chilton und seine Frau Sue versichern persönlich, nichts gegen gut integrierte muslimische Einwanderer wie Suleiman Massoud zu haben. Doch der 11. September und die Anschläge in Europa haben über die Jahre ihre Angst und die Angst vieler anderer Amerikaner geschürt.
I'm perfectly happy with the Hispanic culture. Yo hablo español, all right? We have Mexican food often. Our ranch employees are largely Mexican-American. That is not a problem. It's the inability to ascertain whether some of these folks are Al-Qaeda or ISIS or other. any person from any country should be going through the legal process of documenting that he's not wanted for robbery, child rape, murder in his home country.
We need a system, and Trump is articulating it, where we decide who can come in rather than opening the door to the masses.
I'm happy to be alive at this time when we have what I consider to be the most effective and most motivating president that we've had in my lifetime. There's always the discussion of the cost of interdiction, the cost of a wall, the cost of having border patrol. Now they're saying it's expensive to stop them, but they're never saying it's terribly expensive to allow it to continue.
I used to chop that cotton, sometimes leaning on my hoe. We all know a hoe ain't just a hoe anymore.
Laut dem Weißen Haus kosten illegale Migranten den amerikanischen Steuerzahler jährlich 300 Milliarden $. Für Suleiman Massoud ist das nur die halbe Wahrheit. Er ist davon überzeugt, dass die Einwanderer erheblich zum Wachstum der US-Wirtschaft beitragen.
In my opinion, immigrants, they come with a drive. They have the drive to succeed. They've already taken the first step by leaving their home country, their comfort zone, to come to a totally different, strange environment with a different culture, different language. I've met so many immigrants that they came with nothing, and now they are business owners, they contribute to the taxes, they have employees of their own, they've raised American children. So, you know, I think there should be policies to encourage immigration. And I do agree that it needs to be organized, but it shouldn't be so difficult and it shouldn't be so stigmatized so negatively by the Trump cabinet.
We've left our ranch, and 20 miles south is the international boundary, which is the other end of our ranch. For 25 miles, the border is nothing except a 4-strand barbed wire fence. I would have never bought my ranch 30 years ago if I had even dreamed of the problem of illegal immigrants coming through the ranch. It's very easy to go from the United States into Mexico. Even a 78-year-old can do it. And it's easy to get back into the United States. What do you think about that? We need a wall. Trump has promised us a wall. It would go right along the border here. We need a road along the wall, and we need forward operation bases. Trump came along, and I said, how did he know what we needed? I've been saying this for years. Others were politicians. The other presidents didn't even enforce our current laws. The wall was authorized in 2006. A businessman, a builder, foreseeing what's important to the country, will build the wall. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be very angry.
Noch glaubt Jim Chilton an seinen Präsidenten. Dabei würde Trumps Mauer nur etwa 1/3 der bislang unbefestigten Grenze schützen. Suleyman Massoud fürchtet hingegen, dass Trumps Politik das Land noch weiter spalten könnte.
I would hope that one day, the whole world would pretty much understand each other's cultures, religions, and look at them in a positive way. Instead of looking at the differences, really look at the similarities between people and what we want, basically what we want in life, and how we want to relate to our Creator, to God, and there's, good and evil in every culture, in every religion, and I would hope at one point people will start looking at what is in common rather than what is different. So I think we're headed that way, where people start to understand people, not from politics standpoint. I don't think it's in the near future. I think it will take a while longer.
Präsident Trump wird noch mindestens 2,5 Jahre im Amt sein. Er hat sich auf die Fahnen geschrieben, in dieser Zeit das Problem der illegalen Einwanderung ein für allemal zu lösen. Durch Rückführungen, Einreiseverbote und den Bau einer Mauer. 33 Milliarden $ will er in den Schutz der amerikanischen Grenze investieren. Denn das bringt Stimmen. Und die braucht Trump. Denn im November stehen schon die nächsten Kongresswahlen an.
Yesterday